Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected, find out how to choose an internet service provider, discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by 1 billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Sorry for the delay. Not sorry, really, but you know what I mean. I hope you're doing well today. I downloaded so much court today. I got so much court. We're not going to watch it all. I mean, it would be impossible, but we do have some good stuff to watch. I haven't watched some of it, including the first case that we're going to start with here, which is in front of Judge Remote Control in Michigan. Again, breadbasket of Michigan. But before we get going, I would love it if you would tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. I mopped the floor today. I don't want to cook. It's hot. So right now, dinner looks like my trusty friend. I love you, Coca-Cola. I really do. You know, I quit Coca-Cola for over a year. He was texting me. We'll see. And I didn't lose any weight. I mean, that's probably the cheese, but regardless. And I wasn't as happy. So I wanted to drink Coke again. I like it. You haven't had dinner yet, but you have fajitas for lunch. Lunch meat sandwich, beer, and puppy paws. I hope that's just a name for something. Otherwise, weird. Bologna. 50 grams of sugar. Is that how much is in here? Psych, 39. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I have an addiction to sugar. It makes me happy. I'm also like already low on dopamine because of my ADHD, so I get it how I need to get it. Ribs and chicken. Kate Crimson wants a paisley sandwich. Hitting the bar, Jim. Dang. Okay, let's get going because it is Friday night. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a date. I know. I won't have a date. Oh, it's Chris Engleby's birthday today, by the way. If he comes by, make sure to say it. Yeah, go to the bar portal. Damn, do I want to make a portal.
Athlete versus Tiffany Glass, 21-6908 motion regarding custody, school, parenting time, and show cause. Parties are present. Well, please raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. All right. Ms. Glass, you go by. Yes, Ms. Glass, you filed a motion regarding custody. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what is the proper cause for change in circumstance? You're alleging that the person will get custody back.
I'm no longer.
Anything else? And you just have custody. You also have a motion regarding school. I believe Mr. Appley has the school. What's the status of the parenting?
Right now, he's not.
Okay, you have parenting time?
I was supposed to have parenting time, but he's denying it.
That's part of the show clause.
Yes.
Mr. Appley, any response to the motion regarding custody?
I don't think she should have supervised visits. She should not have custody. She put her child in bad situations, dangerous situations. Just because she went to rehab doesn't mean she's fixed. I think she needs to show the court she did prove her sobriety. She doesn't admit to what happened with our daughter. It's in the newspaper articles. She doesn't prove it. There should be a police report. I'm not sure why CPS is not involved, but I have called them like 2 weeks ago on this issue. She has not been sentenced yet. She still has a criminal case. I've been very cooperative with this family, letting them see her pretty much whenever they ask, until they skipped the last court date and didn't let me know she was going to try to change parenting time before the criminal case was settled. Parenting time, I've been very flexible. She was in rehab. Well, she was supposed to go with Lori, which is the child's grandmother, and be with Lori and her, but Lori.
Maternal grandmother, I'm assuming.
Correct. Lori would just go drop her off at rehab, and I did not like that. I didn't know where my daughter was going. But I allowed it still. I've been very flexible and
So after you allege the child went to see mother without grandmother present, were there any issues with the child?
no, but I let that happen week for weeks while she was in rehab. You know,
Right, no, I understand that, but my question is simply, after the visit, after you claimed that the child had parenting time with mother without maternal grandmother being there, did the child indicate, and I'm not saying whether the child said anything, but were there any physical indications or anything that indicate trauma
and I don't think she was any stressed out or anything.
But what about the motion regarding school?
Well, she's been in bad schools the last 2 years and a half. And somehow, like when I did do the sole custody with Officer Mitch, like we both, like he told me when she do the sole custody, I agreed to the sole custody, that I had to file a motion for her to go to BADX. And I'm like, why should I have to do that? I have custody. And then she's been going to BADX the last 2 years. How is it that she's all of a sudden going to Dublin? He looked right at me. He's like, we don't know how that got into the paperwork. I have all the,
So you're requesting the child to go to bed?
Yes, and he said I needed to do this.
So when the child went to, well, let me ask this. You have a joint legal custody.
Yes,
That's what?
I agreed to just, leave. That's, I don't want to take her away from her family. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to have her in a good place. Like, that's all. And I've been trying to be cooperative.
And Ms. Blaza has claimed that you have denied parenting time with her recently. How do you respond to that?
I don't believe she had any parenting time with her. She was supposed to establish it after she, what she filed a motion. It said in our contract that she needed to file a motion to, for parenting time. I was just allowing what agreed with me and Mitch after I got the sole custody.
So doesn't sound like you have a problem with the mother having parenting time. Is that correct?
I think it should be supervised.
Okay, well,
I
that
don't
was my
believe,
question, but supervised?
and Your Honor, I've offered her I go to work during the day, my sister's at home, and my family has my daughter usually, either my parents have her or my sister. And I told Tiffany she can make time to go and see her, anytime she wants to. go with my sister, she's be supervised.
What's your sister's name?
Amy Slater, she is in court here with us today.
Is it Amy Slater?
Correct. But I'm not sure my sister will want to do this again because like last time Lori and Tiffany went to my sister's house, Lori did not even get out of the car. Tiffany went in there for a half an hour and it's just bad blood. Like my sister wants to know what did she do to Lori that she needs to just sit out in the car and not see her granddaughter.
So who do you have as proposed supervisor?
Whoever the state would offer for her to be like a professional person from the county or the state. Well, prostitution.
Just a moment, I want
Are not eligible to have supervisor services or provider, there is no companion file.
The audio is terrible in here, you guys. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. It's even the worst from her. It's like no mic over here. The defendant's mic. Oh, it's all fucked. We're going to be switching quickly to small claims court.
If they want a private supervisor, we can put them in contact with a couple of options, but if they do charge hourly plus five.
My mom is available all the time. And there's no reason why my mom can't.
what's the issue with your mother?
Lori, like just with the issue of not coming to court, Tiffany did not want to show up to court. Like I was working with Lori. And she said she was in rehab, so she couldn't make it to court. But Lori knew I was coming to court. I knew.
But my question is there any harm regarding the child if the maternal grandmother is their supervisor?
She's not around fully.
No, I'm assuming she's around fully. That's my question.
Well, she's not. She works in Bay City and has a job in Bay City. She's not
I
around.
understand that, but court orders supervised parenting time, which would require the supervisor to be there at all times while mother is there. Would you have a problem?
My mom's with her, my dad. Like,
Well, now,
one or the other.
okay, we can't waffle here.
I just rather have her with my sister, if anything, if my sister will approve it that way. Cause Lori does not deal with me in the right way and I can't deal with Lori. But previously, before this case, Lori told me never to call her, it's harassment. In the last 3 years before the case happened.
Is your mother here? Your mother.
My mom's here, yes.
Lori?
Yeah.
What's Lori's last name?
Plaza.
Last name, please step up to this.
Lori, you got to come explain yourself.
Or you have a seat. Please raise your hand.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Miss, your name is Lori Plaza, and you are the mother of Tiffany Plaza.
Yes.
And have you had the opportunity to hear all the testimony this morning regarding this?
Yes.
Now, my question simply is this, and I don't want to mention the child's name, nothing like that. I just want to focus on potentially your role in this case. Would you be willing to serve as a supervisor over your daughter when she has parenting time?
I can in my home, but as Wilfred said, I do work in Bay City, so when I work in Bay City and I work 12-hour shifts, I usually stay in Bay City for the 2 or 3 days I'm working. But my husband is home, he works locally. My husband is home all the time, even when he's working.
Do you have any problems working?
And until recently, we were doing just fine. We were communicating. And he had a court hearing. I don't remember what the date is. It was just before Father's Day weekend. He had a court hearing that Friday. And I was supposed to be picking up my granddaughter. And And then I got a text message from him, blowing up my phone. He was upset and he couldn't trust me. I was not, I don't know why I had to be in court. It had nothing to do with me. And he was apparently angry because I didn't show up in court. I guess, I mean, that's what I'm taking right now, but he blew up with me and said that I couldn't see my granddaughter anymore. And as far as previously, we talked about visitations and me dropping her off at rehab. Very initial visit, I attended with her because the court said supervised visits with me. So, first time that she was allowed to visit at the rehab with her daughter, I, went. They told me that because that's a rehab policy that like no one else can be there, just like for the kids. So I said, well, I'm not comfortable with that. You know, I don't know anything about the rehab. My first time dropping off my granddaughter, I'm responsible for her. I said, I'm not just driving around. So they changed their policy and allowed me to stay there the first time with my granddaughter. And then as time went on, she was allowed overnight visits. I talked to Mitch, had a friend in court, and he said that there wasn't a problem with that as long as it was supervised. So when she was at rehab, there's always somebody with. It's just that the
Thanks,
policy is,
Mayor.
you know, like there's visiting times for the children. And then there's visiting times that they're allowed at in rehab for the period of time.
I think this lady's in trouble.
But the visitation with the children is separate. It's a privacy thing. So she was always supervised with somebody. When it wasn't me, it was somebody from the rehab. And like, I talked to Mr. Adley about this. We had this conversation about her spending the night. And in the very first time that she spent the night, I asked the people at rehab to please allow my granddaughter to call. I wanted to talk to her and I said to her, are you okay? You want to stay there with your mom tonight? And she was okay with it. And I relayed that message to him also. He knew very well that I was in contact with the rehab place the whole time. This is new to me too. And I just,
What is your roots?
I'm a nurse. I work from 7 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning, 3 days a week. Every other weekend, every other holiday, my schedule is different.
So you don't have a set schedule.
No.
Describe for me, in your own words, the relationship between husband and Bradley regarding communication.
There's never really
Judge!
been communication much between my husband and him. There was no problems. I mean, there's maybe been once or twice that they've communicated, but it's not been anything regular.
Bradley, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Healy?
In my town, Vince, there is a apartment complex that is styled after Friends. It's very strange, but everything is Friends related in the apartment building. It's so weird. Even the elevator. I have a video of the elevator. It's super odd.
Ms. Glossley, there's a motion here for a show cause regarding contempt on father. Are you claiming that there's denied parenting time?
When I came home, actually, for 2 weeks before I went home rehab, I was supposed to get birth every other Saturday for 2 hours.
I can't continue listening to this shit. I'm sorry. If you really want this video, contact me later and I'll get it for you. But I can't listen to that anymore. It's jarring. But thank you, Heidi. How was the lake? I would love to be in the lake. And yes, it's a non-funny apartment complex. That's exactly right. I just can't hear it proper. So let's just go over to small claims court, where we will watch. I don't think so either. Uh, okay, so Yeah, Judge, we're
present
actually
your
gonna Zoom
case?
forward.
Yes,
Hold
I
on.
am.
We gotta hold on. So we're zooming forth.
You're not.
Oh, we're gonna skip that one. We're just going to the redhead lady. Oh, that's so nice, Heidi. I love it.
In here, and all right, so we got Beth Meir from,
Perfect. Oh, dang. I picked the right spot. I love it. Also, you guys, if you look at her title, I thought she had labeled herself as a transformer.
Sears Transform Co. Is that the name of the company?
No, Sears Holdings filed for bankruptcy in 2018. Transform, yeah. Transform assumed certain assets, including stores, protection agreements, that kind of thing.
Okay, so the name of the company is Transform Co.
It should be, so that's kind of like a nickname. So the true entity is Transform Sears Home Services LLC. 'Cause it's a
Transform
service.
Sears LLC. Okay, yeah, this is starting to make a little more sense. All right, let me put you both under oath and then we can get started. So first off, Mr. Percival, raise your right hand with me to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, and then Ms. Neer, then raising your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, thanks. So I think you've answered Ms. Neer a lot of questions because I looked at Sears and I went, wait, and so now I understand Transform Sears LLC is who you're representing. This is claim number 37325 filed by Mr. Percival and his wife, right? Denise is your
Yes,
wife? Okay,
correct.
you're representing the community, right?
Yes,
Okay, she's unable to be here because of grandkids.
yes.
And you're suing well, so first off, what I see is that, let me get this up. I just had a question here of, so the Percivals live in Olympia, Thurston County. This is Thurston County District Court. Transform Sears LLC is in Illinois. Is that right? Ms.
Correct.
Neer?
Yes.
Okay, you have a mailbox here in Thurston County, and that's where, but you were served, your company was served in Illinois.
Correct.
All right. And do you object to this court? Do you submit to this court making decisions on this case, or should it be filed in Illinois?
No, I have no objections staying with this court.
Okay. And then the next question is, how are you related to Transform Sears LLC?
So I'm in the law department. My title is legal litigation specialist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like then you're allowed by the company to bind them.
Legal litigation specialist sounds like a workaround for not a lawyer. Doesn't it? Also, wouldn't you want the jurisdiction changed, MB? Also, the sleeve length is very weird to me. It is not quite. She's the law department. Like, imagine saying that. I'm the law department. Her head is on fire. Her head is on fire. That girl is on fire.
Litigation.
Correct.
Okay, got that settled. So we have the right people here. All right. Mr. Percival, then what I'm going to do here is just turn to Mr. Percival first. He started this claim. He says that your company owes him about $800, $900. And we're going to hear from Mr. Percival about that, why he thinks that, map that out. And then I'm going to turn to you on behalf of Sears Transform LLC and see what your side of that claim is, what you think. And then I'll make a decision. And there you go. So On to you, Mr. Percival. Why do they owe you? Why do they owe you money? What
Can I
is it?
continue this, what they have?
Okay, you've got
I don't
something
know
for
if you
me.
have this or not, because they mailed this to me Wednesday.
What it, well,
It's what she's trying to say.
here, hand it to me if you would.
I don't know if this is.
Don't testify, just hand
No,
me
no, no,
stuff
no,
and then we'll
it is
have you
part
sit
of my
down
stuff.
because I want you on the record and that
Okay,
red thing
all
right
right.
there. That captures your voice
Oh,
and we're
all
making
right.
an oral
I'm
recording.
sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay, it's pretty good,
Okay,
but I don't want you wandering around and then we won't capture what you have to say. So you
Okay.
handed me some packets. It looks like this may have been, where did you get this?
they sent it to me overnight
Okay.
mail from
And you just got it when?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes.
All right, and it looks like some of what I may have reviewed, so looks like some of what I might have reviewed in the court file, but let me see. Well, with that, I guess that's sometimes my first question here. Are you, Mr. Percival, do you feel prepared to present your case?
Yes, I am.
Okay, even getting this on Wednesday, you're good to go?
My doc, everything that I have is inside. The only thing is I did put the table of contents, but the first letter kind of points out everything that we wrote out.
Okay,
It says, but the other stuff pertains to, she's saying that they
I don't
don't,
ask you to testify right now. I just
Okay.
want to be sure you're ready to go. You're not
yes,
gonna go, I got this
Nope.
Wednesday and, oh, I didn't think about
No,
that and
I
I
got-
gotta think
got
about it.
I got
Okay,
it.
and I'm just trying to be sure. All right, so you got this. I'm just wondering if I got it. So, Ms. Neer, I'm not asking you to start testifying, but I've, whatever information that Mr. Percival got just the other day, it looks much like maybe what you've already filed with the court.
Yes, I tried sending it via email, but it bounced back. So that's why I overnighted the documents.
All right, yeah, I thought I did see this. Good, so it's not new information, but it's helpful to have it in hard copy. All right, so Mr. Percival, then why do they owe you money? And if you've got exhibits or something, tell me.
There's a lot of exhibits on there, and first is our letter, why we're filing a suit, and I'll go to the exhibits afterwards, but
Okay,
the reason we filed a suit was we had Sears come out because we bought a refrigerator for them back in 2017.
Mhm.
Unknowing to us, the problems they had till I researched it later. But anyway, so the tech came out, it's gonna charge us $119 to test it and see why it wasn't working. So, okay, we agreed to it.
and the tech was from the.
Sears Home
All
Services.
right, okay,
And then so he said, before I can test it, you have to sign this because I have to plug into your compressor line to see if it's failing. I said, okay. So then once he tested it and he says, okay, the compressor's bad. He says, I'm gonna have to order the parts to repair it. He says, it's gonna cost $802. I says, okay. So after he took the money and he ordered the parts, then he informs us,
so you gave that
well, it's
person
my-
$802.
for our credit card, which I'm disputing right now. So it's in dispute.
But you put it on your credit card,
Correct.
$802 and the 119?
No, they didn't charge me that because that was part of it. We paid
Okay,
the 802, it would be part of the bill.
okay,
So anyway,
Okay.
so after we paid the money, he informs us, well, it could take up to the 15th. This was on the 30th of May.
May. Okay.
So the 15th of June, he says it could take up to that long. So we're asking why? Well, we don't know where the parts are. So, okay, so we're at a kind of a quandary now. We're already paying money. He's got our money. So anyway, we pay the money. After 5 days, we had to buy a refrigerator because we had no food we could store. I can't go out 3 times a day to get food. We're retired, fixed income. So anyway, on the 13th, we start questioning, we haven't heard anything. Let me back up a little bit. They said they're waiting for the parts. Okay, we had the parts after like 7 days after he put this order in. They're sitting in my garage on my workbench. I call overseas, their company is overseas that you have to deal with.
They were mailed to your home?
They
Okay.
mail them directly
All
to
right,
you.
so you get the parts, and the
Yes.
thought was that the $802 was just for parts or
No,
for them to
to
come
put
back
them
and put
in
it
it,
in?
to put the
So,
parts
all right.
in.
And why do you, all right.
Okay, so
look at that.
moving on. So I call these people overseas, their contacts, and said, we need to talk to some of the parts here. We need somebody to come out and repair it. Well, we don't see the parts have shipped. I says, I'm looking at the parts after hours. You've been overseas, you know what I'm talking about. Trying to talk to these people that don't understand what you're trying to say. So this went on and went on. So the parts have been here for quite a while. So on the 13th, we still haven't heard anything. So we contacted them. Well, we don't show the parts have shipped. I said, the parts are here after an hour on the phone. So on the 15th, when they're supposed to show up, we don't get contact. Nobody calls us. Once again, we're on the phone overseas. Well, the technician's sick. What do you mean he's sick? I don't care if the guy's sick. Where's the guy come fix our refrigerator? So when is he going to come out? The 21st.
Of June.
June.
Okay.
I says, what do you mean the 21st? I said, so you can't bump somebody again to send us somebody? No, we can't do that. What do you mean? I says, I've been waiting all this time. They wouldn't do it. Says, okay, so that we move on. That's what I filed the lawsuit. That's why I said enough is enough. So then
That's when he filed the lawsuit after they told him the technician was sick once. I so who fucking pays $800 to fix an 8-year-old fridge? I would never. I would never. You could buy 2 cheap fridges for that. I'm perplexed. And he's already saying he's disputing the charge, so in reality, has he even paid? Oh, Jesus Christ.
the 22nd or 21st technician comes out. Late in the afternoon, fixes the refrigerator. Wasn't fixed.
So on the 21st, someone
It was
comes
the first
out
attempt to fix it.
and then they, as you presume, they put in the parts that you paid $802
They put the
for.
parts in. He did not put the things in correctly.
So then when you there and you turned it on, it didn't work? or
Well,
what
he said,
happened?
okay, give it a couple hours, it'll work. Well, he didn't stay, he left.
All right.
So about a couple hours later, I put my temperature gauge in there. It's reading 73 degrees in the top part of the refrigerator.
Okay.
So I texted him and I sent on the, if you look at the exhibits, the last part, you see the text.
Which
It'd be at the last part because I put 3 more files in there. One is from text messages back and forth where
last part? So I've got a lot of pages.
I know there's a lot of pages. It'd be like I get down to the refrigerator showing that I don't use this refrigerator. I taped it to keep it open so it doesn't get mold in it. When you get to that part, you'll see some text messages back and forth.
So screenshots of text messages
Yes.
or getting there.
There's a lot of information in there just showing you where lawsuits were better.
But did he just say that he taped his refrigerator so it wouldn't get mold in it? But if your fridge is actually broken for a month, you go ahead, you clean that shit out, you unplug it, you leave it open so that it doesn't get mold in it, it dries out, and then you wait. Oh, does the freezer still work? Maybe they're just using the freezer? But still. Again, this just seems very odd to me. Very odd indeed.
Business Bureau and showing
Yeah.
their business practices that people have complained about them, what they do. And that, so bottom line with this tech is, so I text,
What do I take from the texts? What do you
so what
want me
he's
to
telling
do?
me is the original tech was Charles. Okay, so I'm texting him. I says, you know, why isn't somebody come out and fix? I need my refrigerator. He texts me back. I'm sorry, I didn't respond to you. I just got back from vacation after they told me the guy was sick.
How dare you go on vacation and be sick, Charles? Fuck you, Charles. Charles.
Okay.
So they lied about that. So here they're,
Let me understand
Yes.
better. $802 is your claim.
$812
Okay.
is for the repair that they did that they didn't do. It's like, it's kind of
Okay.
like a contract.
So we got to a repair some point, it worked or not?
The 23rd, 23 days after,
Third,
23 days after he originally put it for the
somebody
parts.
else comes in. And then what happened
Well, the
there?
21st is when somebody came in,
Yep.
bundled it, didn't do it right.
And then,
Then I texted him, which you'll see in there, And he says, you'll have to call the warranty department to reschedule somebody come out and fix it.
Okay.
I can't come out and do it. So then the guy comes out on the 23rd, which is the original tech, Charles. And he goes, well, the guy I'm coming behind him constantly that he messes up. So I had to repair. So here I'm another 2 days without refrigerator that they're charging me this money.
All right. So
Like-
did that, so what did he do? Fix
He
the
fixed
part?
it. He fixed it after the guy
And so
bundled
now
it.
you've got a running refrigerator.
I have a
June
running
23rd.
after 23 days.
Okay, got it. And so that was the same company then?
Correct.
Yours fixed
But
it. All
if you
right.
kind of go back in all the documentation, what I'm trying to show, and I know I didn't put it in context, it's kind of out of place. But if you look at it, you'll see where LG's had a lawsuit. What she's claiming is, well, we didn't manufacture, the refrigerator. We just put our name on it pretty much. Well, aren't you liable for knowing that they knew back in 2014 that there was a problem with these compressors? They should have a recall on these compressors. So then they didn't. So they still have lawsuits. LG does. They had one, I guess it went wherever it went. So it kind of went sideways. But LG still has these class action lawsuits for the same compressor. So when the guy came to put the compressor in my thing, he's telling me it's the same compressor that they're having a problem with. So I asked him, so how long will this compressor last me? Well, at least 2 years. The refrigerator cost us $2,500 or better. 2 years, and I'm paying you $900 almost to fix it?
And so that same compressor went in and is now working.
It's working.
All right, but you don't know how long because.
Well, and this is what he told me. See, and these technicians tell me this. Well, we're backlogged on all these compressors because they're constantly failing. That tells you what's going on. So then they ship the parts to your house because they don't have an office. The customer works from his house, or the tech works from their house. So the technician tells me, he says, I'm constantly repairing these things. They knew they were defective. They're still selling it. But he said the new one's coming out and they didn't even put it in my refrigerator. It's a different kind of gas. I guess it's kind of like a pro.
I literally just went and checked my refrigerator because I heard a beeping and I was like, shit, I don't want to deal with this problem. It was not my fridge though, so that's great.
Propane kind of a thing. He says it's supposed to be a lower PSI pressure.
So what do you have here from the technicians that came out, the one that? Yeah,
The last two, if you look at the text messages,
here it is.
can you
So
see them?
All right, so I have to find them in these.
It's the very bottom. It should be at the
100
very bottom.
pages. Well, there's 100 pages of the very bottom, so that's what I'm trying to, if you can.
Well, if you
direct
see the
me.
one where a refrigerator is, where it's taped up, and you'll see that we bought a refrigerator. I put the price of the refrigerator in there too.
I'm still, so you want the $802 that it cost you for that part?
Not the part, the repair.
Well, all right, so we don't know, because you spent $802, you got parts and you got an install finally.
23 days later.
Yeah, but so that's what you're wanting. your
Well,
money
the
back
reason is
for.
like they broke their contract with me because it's supposed to be done by the 15th and it didn't get done till the 23rd.
That's what I'm trying to find here in this 100 pages. Where was that?
It should be close to the bottom because I gave them to him when I came in for the clerk, the last 3 pages. And there should be a refrigerator and a tape on it, blue tape showing that I kept it open.
I don't have hard documents. I just have 200 pages here. So was there some sort of, when you first talked to them about, it's at the top here, just trying to remember where I found it when I was looking at all this.
I knew I should have
That
brought
says
oh,
the
here's, can I
15th.
give this to you right now?
Sure.
Here's one of them,
I know, too.
but I don't have the other one from the other guy saying he couldn't come back. That's,
Okay,
so that's the
so
original
what's,
check.
what's this?
That's, okay, so this is where he put the order in for my compressor.
So the second.
This is, no,
technician?
that's the original check.
Okay,
And if you see where it says, good morning, I'm sorry, I just got back from vacation.
right.
That's after they told me the guy was sick.
But what I'm trying to figure out, so we have appointment for you to come on the 15th. We haven't
Correct.
heard a confirmation on that yet. This is Ron Percival. So that's,
Correct.
this first one is you.
First one
Makes
is
sense.
Charles. Sent it
So
to me.
where, it looks
Could I,
like,
could I just point it out to you? or
it's
not?
really hard to tell who starts and.
I know, because you know what? It doesn't have
Stops.
names on it.
Yeah,
So let me kind of explain it to you.
sure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is me. Just got back from vacation. This is Charles.
Okay,
I know that you're not, probably not the technician, because you'll come out and do it. I says you might make the appointment back, you made the appointment, so this is the
Okay,
original guy that
that's-
made the appointment. We have an appointment to come on the 15th. We haven't heard
That's
anything
you.
yet. This is me.
Okay.
It says we gave it the thing. Good morning, this is Charles. I'll be your tech coming on the second customer ahead. You know, so this is when he finally came on the
Okay.
23rd.
All right.
The other one is another page from the other tech saying that he couldn't come back.
So the 15th, they just said, we're gonna get the parts to you. It should be the 15th that we should be able to put it in.
At the latest.
And, all right, and so that's how you counted on that. But in the meantime, obviously, that was still 2 weeks. So you took care of yourselves and got yourself a new
Refrigerator.
fridge,
yes,
so you could not lose all that money in food.
correct.
And then it comes in, the next guy comes in on the 23rd and it's fixed with the part that was in your garage waiting. to
No, the
put in.
guy came on the 21st is the guy that put the part in,
Yeah,
but he bundled it.
yeah, but the same part was.
Same
dealt
part
with
was
on
in
the
there, but he
23rd.
didn't put it correctly.
Yeah.
So then the guy that Charles came the second time and came in to make the repair because what he
Okay.
did is instead of making it going like a loop, he had it going back and forth to each other. So he blocked how that refrigerant was going into the,
So do you have anything in your documents that from that technician, that second one that made it all right, that told you all this information you're telling me? Or I see lots of information from,
well, they're not gonna be
about-
documented. I can't document what they said to me.
yeah, that's the problem.
But
There's
it's a
certain
document.
things, you know, I can relax, but when it kind of comes to hearsay that goes to the guts of the case, it's real difficult because that person, I can't be,
No, I
you know,
understand.
the other side doesn't get to cross-examine them.
But here-
doesn't
but
get to
here's a-
test their
here's a whole-
understanding, their expertise, their credibility. I don't know if anyone.
But
knows
see,
what they're
here's
doing.
the-
Yeah,
Whole crust of the case.
yeah.
Bottom line, they broke their contract.
So where's that contract that you say they
15th.
broke?
The 15th is a contract. That's what I saw. That's what I signed off on.
So
That's what the
the oral
$802.
contract, or was there a contract in
signed.
writing?
They have it
Yeah.
signed in there.
So I'm trying to find
It's, no,
it.
it's on her paperwork with my
Okay,
signature.
So I'll go to defense exhibits. Maybe it'll be easier
Because you'll
there.
see where the, they show my refrigerator. They showed when they were supposed to come out. But you know what the funny is? They don't show that
So
it's
since they didn't come out the 15th,
correct.
I guess I have to, because they breached their contract,
Correct.
you were damaged by $802.
It was, to me, it was like, I'm paying for something. The bottom line is I'm paying for something I should never had to pay for. Because they knew this was a defective equipment. It should have been recalled
Okay.
years before.
LG knew that.
They knew it and LG,
So
made-
actually, we're
made that.
going way back to product
well, that's where it
law
started.
as opposed to contract law.
And they didn't tell us when we bought the refrigerator, well, you know, they're having some problems with LG in our refrigerators. And they knew they were problems. So now I'm paying for something that's being put in a refrigerator after 6 years.
Right, so so you figure this out in 2024? And,
But when the refrigerator quit, and then
yeah,
the bottom line was I was gonna pay them up front. I was gonna give them the money. I had no problem paying the money, Your Honor. No problem at once at all. After 23 days, I'm tired of it. And just because if I'm paying you to repair something, if you want to get your refrigerator repaired and somebody took your money and don't show up for 23 days and you're calling people to tell them I have the parts and they're still, we don't see, and she just said, we're
so
having
you've got
logistic.
two claims here that are getting kind of smushed together.
Well, the
One is
$70 for the
against
food.
Sears, which is, or I shouldn't say Sears, it is
Sears Holding.
Transform Sears LLC that says that, I'm not really sure what that claim is, frankly.
Well, because
But
it's three,
that they
it's three
didn't show up on
companies.
the 15th, and so therefore you're damaged by $802. But then your next claim is different. It sounds like it's against LG and
No,
Transform Sears, that your product was defective and nobody told me in 2017 when I bought it.
it wasn't against LG because LG didn't sell me the product. So Sears, if you look at, if you go,
Look at all your documents in here that say, you know, about the difficulties with these linear compressors.
correct,
Where did you get this information?
online.
But how do I know it's reliable and dependable and accurate? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Better Business Bureau, you can't get any better than that.
That was the Better Business Bureau?
Part of it was.
Isn't the Business Bureau like a scam, allegedly? Where they make businesses pay for ratings and it's not really real? Sir, he's such a boomer, it's not even funny. He is the epitome of a boomer. No offense to any boomers. But this guy's giving y'all a bad name coming out here asking for fucking all his money back on this old fridge.
You know, some of it was Better Business Bureau,
What-
some was like lawsuits that they show is still going on against LG.
What part
Sears,
is,
there's one in there too, if you look at Sears, that they had lawsuits against them too.
who does?
Sears,
Sears against LG, you're saying?
no,
No, Sears,
against Sears for selling their refrigerators.
that people have lawsuits against
Yes,
Sears
well,
now?
they had them, but now I guess they got out of it for some reason.
Well, see, that's the problem. A
I
lot
know
of
what you're saying.
this
It's
is
confusing.
not-
How do you think I feel when I
It's not
started to research?
confusing. What it is, it's not substantiated. It's not authenticated. I got stuff that I'm trying to find corroboration for. Do you have, here, let me think, and all the information from these tags,
Right,
I don't know. I can't judge their
But you know what-
expertise, their credibility or any of that. And so it's very difficult to get an understanding that who these are, but we got a lot, I'm looking at your Better Business Bureau.
I'd let you
statement
look at my
here.
phone. Would that be more
No,
substantial?
I don't want to take your phone into evidence and then you lose it because,
Well-
and it's also not fair to the other side because things have to be here for everyone to review.
But you know how that works if you do a
Right.
text, one comes in blue, one comes in black,
Yeah.
so it's
So
just
I'm
kind of
just
hard to
looking at
do
your
that.
Better Business Bureau information, which does have some credibility, but I'm not really sure who's, they're just complaints and I don't really know, their response, investigation, their washer repair.
There's
and I
difficulty
don't
trying to get them to
know-
fix anything in a timely manner.
Do you have anything here that tells you that it was the linear compressor that was put in, or is there somewhere a receipt or a invoice or something from the technicians?
They don't give us anything. All they do is ship the parts to us.
Okay, so that was what you got. That's the. Well, here. Let me
I-
turn to, one more thing before I turn to transform.
No, it just, it's kind of confusing when you start trying to look at everything. But if you go through the whole thing, I didn't make all this stuff up on the internet. This is on the internet from lawsuits that people had lawsuits, class action lawsuits against LG, and you had it against Sears Kenmore too. I understand Sears is out of business, but you can't, if I would have sent it to Sears per se, they said, well, Sears doesn't exist anymore. So you had to take all three companies. Transco is the parent company, the Sears Holding and Sears Home Services. So that's why I had to put all three names in there.
Okay.
So if I'd have put Sears Home Services, they'd say, well, we don't own them. So that's why I had to make all three companies involved in it.
Mhm.
I learned this years ago, you have to go to if you don't get the right names, then you just kind of wasting your time.
Well, you're right. You got to pursue the right people. So let me hear from Ms. Neer, who's here representing Transform Sears LLC. What's your response to this suit?
So this is a straight product defect suit. Like what Ron had identified, he purchased the Kenmore Pro refrigerator in 2017 without a protection agreement. So it's just the product itself. The product itself has a manufacturer's warranty. So if you look at Exhibit 1 on page 3,
This is all right.
okay? So like what Ron identified, there was service and a compressor was needed. So if you look for at like the fourth paragraph, it says for 10 years from the date of sale, the linear compressor of this appliance is warranted against defects in material or workmanship. And if you go on, it identifies the first year of having the refrigerator, it's free of any defects. So you get the new part and labor free. Thereafter, after that first year, you get the part free, but you have to pay for labor.
Mhm.
And that's this case.
All right.
So I provided exhibits of the whole, Ron had 2 service calls, and I provided all the records, internal records, parts ordered, when the tech went out, and all that good stuff. But then if you look at exhibit 2, I kind of recapped.
You wait, me.
yeah.
Give these back, because that's what I'm looking at online, and you can look at, I just remembered you gave them to me. So that's what I'm looking on, not online, but in my electronic
Right,
file.
Yeah.
And so exhibit 2 starts
Yes.
with that transform member records is the first page.
Right.
And
So I provided all the service history for all his products, including the refrigerator, and you see the 2 cases. So if you jump to page 4, starting, it says call taken 2024-04-28. Service order A228-101-80055. Okay,
I'm with you.
okay. So,
And you have that in front of you as
I
well.
already read all of this.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so Ron had called on April 28th of 2024, identifying that his refrigerator without a protection agreement wasn't cooling. The technician went out, the first technician went out on May 2nd
No.
and identified.
So I'm just hearing from one side at a time.
Okay.
So this is her
Okay.
doctor, and then we'll give you a short time to kind of respond. But it's all right, Ms. Neer, just because if you interrupt, then you interrupt the
No,
overall
it's okay. I'm
record
sorry.
and you
I'm
really
sorry.
mess up the record. So Ms. Neer, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. So under Service Pro record, the attempts made, you see that there's 3 attempts. One on, let's see here, on 4:30, 5:15, and 5:21.
Okay,
Um,
I'm still on page 4
Yep, page
and
4, under Service Pro record.
record,
Okay,
and that details, I have to enlarge that.
okay.
And that details that 4:30, there was a call date. Okay. I'm
Okay.
with you now.
All right. So believe it or not, on March 1st of 2024, this year, Home Services moved from one database, a service platform, to another one. So all these records that the technician normally would put comments in, that was gone. You can
That's
just
why
see the
April
dates, but there
3rd,
wasn't-
30th,
right.
and May 15th are blank,
Right.
essentially.
But those are the dates that they went out to service on the refrigerator. But I'm providing all the records that happened in that service call, as well as the parts that were ordered, which, as you can see, on May 2nd, there were parts ordered, but there was no information that the part was sent directly to the customer, again, because a failure of the system. So when he called customer service, I've got the part, I had the technician to come out, the service department couldn't see that. It didn't identify parts were shipped directly to the customer, which isn't because they don't want the techs having the parts. It's just easier for parts to be shipped directly to the customer. So on May 15th, there was a scheduled date, because the original date that the service tech went out and said, oh, I need to order parts, he normally will set a follow-up date. And he'll say, if you don't leave the parts, we'll reschedule, otherwise we'll set that date. Okay. Ron said that the tech called in sick, I'm not even sure. But then on the 21st of May, the tech arrived, the parts were installed.
And I see that, yeah, I'm going back to that notation. That's where it says comments installed
Mhm.
whatever it is, incandescent tested on 21st of May.
Yeah.
Why does the internet hate me? Why, oh, why can it be? Ugh.
So then Ron identified he called again, and that was on May 22nd, saying, you know, it's not cooling right. We had the tech come the next day on 23rd and
So where do I see that?
so if you go to the second page of that document,
Second
where it says
page?
call taken 24-05.
Okay. Under service record or where? Service ordered? Where?
So in the records exhibit 2, page 2, the document. So I did it wrong. I had the most recent service order and then had the,
And how do you relate this to Mr. Percival's refrigerator? I know this is about refrigerator.
um,
Service order number.
Yeah.
On page 2 is different than what we've been reviewing on page 4. Does that
right.
make sense?
So on the very first page of that service, record service, you see the history. And it shows the service order number of the 2
Mhm.
refrigerators, or of the refrigerator, but with 2,
I see.
yes.
Okay. I
So
see.
the parts that Ron had paid out were not covered under that manufacturer's warranty, which was the valve, the dryer, condenser. Those parts total $235.93, plus the labor of $544.62. And there was tax on all of that. The tax was $21.46, coming to $802.01.
And so you started out your testimony with this is a product defect case, but now we're talking about, tell me what you're, then we went into talking about
The service.
the service.
Mhm.
So tell me what you're meaning.
So Ron purchased the refrigerator without a protection agreement. So it's
Okay.
just the product itself.
And so then we have and you pointed me to the exhibit where Kenmore has, if you buy from your company, then this limited warranty is in effect.
Exactly.
Okay. And so we're going back to, I think that was page 3.
Page 3, yes.
Yeah, page 3.
Yes.
And that is what went with the LG
Compressor.
refrigerator. Okay. All right. And so it's, if your point of view is that, all right, we're looking at, redirect me again to the paragraph, 1, 2, 3, for 10, for 10 years from date of sale? No, for 5 years from date of sale. That's what you're,
The 10 years, because it's a compressor.
okay.
So for 10 years from the date of sale.
It's warranted against defects. All right, and so this is bought in 2017 and we're back on 2024, so 7 years when everyone's apprised. So the compressor is defective in the first year, but if after the first year, a new one will be supplied but not installed at no charge. What does that mean?
So
New
it's
part will be paid for but the installation cost is on the customer.
Yeah, that's the labor.
And that labor, all right, and so that's what the 802 is what Mr. Percival paid, is the labor.
The labor plus the parts that were not covered in that extended warranty.
Okay, so the labor then. Okay, all right. And then the issue of a defective product from LG, what's your response there? That 2017, he bought this refrigerator, he should have been told about this, he wasn't, he says, and so therefore it's your fault. And you need to pay him $802. Where are you on that?
Sears and or Transform is not the manufacturer of this product. Kenmore name is actually owned by Whirlpool. Whirlpool has different manufacturers for their products. So in this year, LG manufactured that Kenmore refrigerator.
What kind of fridge do you have,
And
Mikey?
so in 2017, when Mr. Percival purchased that, what do you think Kenmore's obligation is as to knowing about a defective part?
So there was a class action lawsuit filed in 2016 regarding certain model numbers manufactured by LG.
Was this one of those?
This was not one of them.
Okay.
So after that lawsuit, LG reconfigured the compressor system and had different models.
And so we don't really know at this stage, or do we know from your point of view that the 2016 refrigerator that Mr. Percival purchased actually had a part that was part of this class action?
Correct. The part I don't know, the model number was not part of the original class action. There is another class action against LG that is active.
All right. And obviously you're the legal, what do you know about that?
I'm not on that case and I can't talk about active cases.
Okay. All right. So you're saying then kind of a summation here, you're the company Transform Sears LLC response to these, and kind of parsed them out two claims. One, a contract issue that June 15th should have been the day that it was put in. I see there's some that it was put in June 21st pursuant to Mr. Percival, but I see your records say May 21st that things were put in. And then this product issue, what's your summation on your response?
I can't say anything to what Mr. Percival identified as his version of the completed dates. I can only provide you what my company has as dates provided.
Okay. And so you're saying that the court should not award Mr. Percival, or should award me? That's what I'm trying to get from you. What are you saying?
So so the parts were ordered and they were installed. The refrigerator is working.
All right. So no contract violation and defective product, not enough information to show that claim.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So let me turn back to Mr. Percival, just to any quick response there at all. So those two issues, they're kind of separate. They are separate, but what do you think?
Okay, first issue. She's saying that they didn't know that was defective, which is a lie. Their own tech told me that. She can say what you want, but that when he replaced the compressor, he said that was one of the defective ones. He told me that. When he put the new compressor into me, same thing, using the same exact Freon that the old one had. So that was a lie. Second of all, if this is the way Sears does business with their home service, is people going to have to go out and buy a refrigerator to wait till people decide to come out and fix their refrigerator? The contract was, I'm going to give you $802 to repair my refrigerator, which I did. At the latest, it'll be there on the 15th to repair it. It should have been out 7 days before the 15th. I already had the parts. Their company would not acknowledge the parts were there. And she's already telling me there's a supply issue and our company, there's no communication between the company. They don't know what they're doing. Even the technician told me, says, well, we're having a real problem with communication, getting the parts, and if they're sent right. So she's blaming me because they're having an issue with their company. So I have to pay you the privilege of being down 23 days because you're having an issue with your company. I don't think that's right. I'm not asking for a bunch of money. Pay for what it should have been I should have never had to pay in the beginning. If that wouldn't have been defective, I wouldn't have had to pay $802 in 6.5 years. That's all it lasted, 6.5 years. For a $2,500 plus refrigerator. Frigidaire, I went out and spent $450. It'll probably work forever. It's a smaller one and it's a backup. If you look, you'll see I'm not even using it. But I had to have food to eat for 23 days. So I'm not asking for a ton of money. Just eat the bill, say, okay, we made a mistake. We're going to honor it and take care of it. She offered me $150. I won't even cover the food.
All right. Well, that's the deal. Like I said at the beginning, I got to work on law.
Right.
And I got to work on reliable evidence. I mean, we reduce and relax the evidence
Right.
rules, but when it comes to hearsay, what the technician said, I don't know who this person is,
Correct.
what their expertise is, what their training is, what their credibility. So I can't take,
That's their head technician.
well, I can't,
I know.
I don't know who it is.
I know.
And so I don't have anything from that person
Correct.
or any ability to evaluate what they told you.
Correct.
I believe you, but I have no way to evaluate its veracity or I don't know. So I can't use any of that. So I have to throw that out because the law says I can't consider it.
Okay.
So first off, going back to, we've got some their records say it was a month before, you say it was a month later. Either way, even take things your way, which we're gonna, they said they were gonna get this thing installed on June 15th, 7 days later. That's substantial compliance, if I even accept that they made a contract with you for June 15th. I don't
Correct.
have anything to corroborate that more than,
It's in their own records. You just said it, the
Yeah.
21st and 26th, it's
Well,
in their own records.
their records are May, yours
May is complete.
discussion is.
I don't know
June.
where May 21st came from
Yeah.
at all.
That's what I'm
28th is when
looking at.
she even
Yeah.
said it.
Not, I just,
No, no.
I know,
But Your Honor, she said
but
May
even if
28th.
I go most favorable to your side
No.
and your facts,
Right.
it's still substantial compliance within 7 days. of the
23
date.
days is compliance though?
From the 15th to the 23rd.
No, the
it's-
30th.
Don't argue with me,
No,
Mr.
no, I'm not
Percival.
arguing.
I'm telling you
Okay.
that from the date that they said they were gonna
Right.
install, they didn't. June 23rd, they get it installed. In the world, it's substantial compliance with a contract to get it installed by 5/15 or June 15, whatever it was. So the contract issue, they substantially complied. If there was even a contract in the light most favorable to you, I'll say there was. And then the product defect, I just don't have anything. I've looked before court and
Right.
again here. Certainly there are complaints about things like washers and dryers, about refrigerators, from the Better Business Bureau, which is
Right.
pretty credible. But it's not substantiated in a way that your part had to do with these claims, these complaints, these product defects. It hasn't been shown. There has to be evidence.
But can I ask you a question?
So, sure.
What evidence can you bring besides what you see what people have put down? I can't go to an attorney and ask them, give me some evidence showing this.
Yeah,
So-
you get evidence from, I mean, you started here. It seems to be that there's some information out there that
Right.
the part that was in your refrigerator was in fact the one that was defective, that they knew. And so that's the line you have to go down. You have to say this part, they knew it was defective, and then these are their obligations under the law of product, defective products. But we're all just guessing right now, because I don't know.
Okay, well, let's
There
forget the
isn't any
let's forget
evidence.
the product.
So the bottom line
Go ahead.
is that I have to dismiss your claim
Okay.
because there just isn't evidence for the court to order it. I'm glad you have a refrigerator that's working. Sorry for this frustration.
But this is just what we're gonna ask. I don't care if you
Sure.
dismiss it. I already planned on it. It's no big deal. The thing is, would you like to go 23 days without a refrigerator?
It's not up to me. This is your life.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to answer,
Okay.
questions that are just
Okay.
rhetorical. We're here in trial.
Right.
So unfortunately, because of that lack, I
Right.
can't, even believing everything that you said, which I think you're quite credible, and everything in the light most favorable to you, it just doesn't meet what the law requires. So that's it for today.
Can I, just for future reference?
Yeah.
So this pertain. So what credible evidence do I need to show you?
Again, you would
No,
have
I don't mean,
what part in your refrigerator?
no, not that part at all.
What?
Forget that part.
Yeah,
Not at all.
okay, what are you asking?
What do you have to do for people binding by contracts that you're losing food, that you're losing everything, and that they can just show up when they want to? And this is what I don't understand. It says,
Well,
I can understand the other parts.
again, there has to be a contract that the court can figure out. And all I have is a statement from you that this person, who I don't know who they are, and that said, we're gonna get it done on the 15th. That's an oral contract, maybe?
It's in writing. That's what, I
Well,
mean, that's what that text
Yeah.
message was, and that's her technician.
and I, even if we, like I say, in the light most favorable to you, 7 days is pretty substantial compliance for someone to come back and fix something. There are different, yeah, it's
So
substantial
this is
compliance.
this is what's really
So I'm
hard.
not gonna be able to answer your questions.
No,
I know
it's
you're
just for
frustrated
future
still,
reference.
and it didn't work,
That's
but
fine.
I would, I don't find that your claim has the support you wanted to have.
That's fine.
So we're done here. I've got some other cases I
No,
gotta
that's fine, Your
tell the
Honor.
bad news to, that they're gonna get a new court date. Did you want this back?
Oh, I don't care. It just, the point is, like I said, I
Much
just
to
thought
have what
nothing
you
else
want.
was service.
Well, I think you got the point across. I hope to Ms. Nera that you're pretty
I don't think it really
dissatisfied.
resonates in there. I
Okay.
really don't. because
No, I've
it-
apologized so many times. I agree. A refrigerator, it's hard to live without. It's not like a washer or dryer. It's a refrigerator with food. I completely understand.
All right. Well, thanks, Ms. Neer.
Okay,
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor. I appreciate your
Thanks.
time.
I honestly felt like what he was doing there was this. Walk out the door, see someone that you know. Oh, wait, hold on. Can you guys hear that? Wrong video. Walk out the door, you see someone that you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine. You just that was him saying he was fine. You just have to say that you're fine, but you're not really fine. That the judge dismissed your claim about the refrigerator in your house, but you have to be fine. You know the one I'm talking about? It's Katy Perry. You have to say it when you're fine, but you're not really fine. I find that funny because I can hear it and you can hear me, but Chris Engelby, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's Chris's birthday. Do you want me to sing happy birthday to you? If you do, I will. I hope that you had a wonderful day. Chris mentioned that he had crumble cookies. Jealous. I heard those are delicious. Oh, Bill, I know. Tell me about it. Terrible. If I'm going to turn those into any type of content, I'm going to have to sit there and transcribe them myself so that they have subtitles. Chris. Right? But that meme is hilarious. And people play it in black and white. And they're like, when people just anyways, I'll sing to happy birthday to Chris. Also, I don't know, was this lady not a lawyer? Is that what happened there? She's not a lawyer? I'm pretty sure. Anyways, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christopher Engelby. Happy birthday to you. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful vacation. I know you're on vacation this week, so enjoy that. Message out there to Vicky to feel better. Also, a Miracle Mama Cole has gotten out of surgery. She's still feeling sore, but hopefully she will be back in business soon. Yeah, if I'm forgetting anybody else, I'm sorry. Oh, Mayor. Mayor's not feeling well. He had an incident I thought I read there. So send good vibes to Mayor, please. Healing vibes to all of our friends. Also, a congratulations to Mikey for 57,000 subscribers and I think 18,000 subscribers on Kay's channel. So very good job there, Mikey. Congrats. Um, and yeah, guys, allegedly, don't shop at Sears. That's what I'll say. Um, yes, I'm glad that Cole is doing okay. I'm glad that you had a good day, Chris. Um, I really want to try those crumble cookies. On my list. I also added a new pizza place to my list and a spot in Tampa. Is anybody in Florida? I watched a video about a place in Tampa and I want to go check it out. Oh, and Cellulite Yoga Pants, that's right. Cellulite Yoga Pants met a real soft sit, and we found the website where they get all their soft sit materials from. And so we will maybe be checking that out this weekend in members only. Courtney, Tampa. I don't know if you'll like this food though, Courtney. You don't like white creamy stuff in your mouth dripping down your face. Terrible. Uh, no, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, apparently authentic to Philadelphia. And then it's a pizza place too. Delicious pizza. So I got onto a little bit of a pizza review binge last night. I was watching the One Bite, Everyone Knows the Rule guy. And anyways, I like watching that. So yeah, now I want pizza and I want to go to Tampa and get a Philly cheesesteak. Now, should I want to go to Philadelphia? No, I think I want to go to Florida. Yeah, I've decided. And the guy who was reviewing it, he's like, do people around here know about this? And apparently now the lineup's really long, so people have learned about it. But before it was like a small business and he went and tried it and they really took off afterwards. But the dude was eating this sandwich and I was just like, holy shit. I want it. I want it so bad. Um, we do not have sandwiches like that around here, which makes me sad. Yeah, this was a good case. I'll tell you, that's weird. Was this at the end of the docket then? I guess it was. I thought that it went longer, but I guess that is the end of the docket there. But we didn't watch the beginning, so keep an eye out because Saturday we'll probably do some more petty shit around here, and check out the rest of that docket. It's still nice out. Maybe I should walk. How many steps have I got? Yeah, I should probably walk. I've only got 3,300 steps today, guys. Anyways, I guess I can redirect you guys if you wait around for a minute. You got a dozen cookies? I'm jealous. That sounds so good. Also I found some places I want to go in Vegas. I want to do a Vegas meetup and I have some places I want to go. Um, oh, Southwest Missouri. Listen, I want to go to every state. Every state. That's my goal. Mango Mania. What is that, Courtney? Walmart has mangoes on sale this week. I put 2 in the cart. I haven't done the order yet. I love you too, Chris. Thanks so much. I really hope you enjoy those cookies. Oh yeah, I'm redirecting. God damn it, Paisley. Ooh, little vocal fry I add to myself there. I think calling myself on it is the best thing I can do when I notice I'm doing like up talk or vocal fry. Did I find someone to cover my shift tonight? Yeah, I'm redirecting y'all to Colin. Tons of mangoes. I'm into it. 83. I'm just gonna let that save and then I will say goodbye. I'm just gonna check the weather first. Oh, I want to do Vegas so bad. It is 77 degrees here and sunny, but it is gonna get very hot tomorrow. Very, very hot tomorrow. Yeah, very hot indeed. Also, I've realized that I've been reading the weather not for my area, but actually like the sort of technical city right beside me. And it's like 4 or 5 degrees hotter in my area. So because we're inland, I'm not on the ocean as close anymore. Anyways, you lived in Vegas for 8 years. What was that steakhouse? Loud would know. Matt and the boys were talking about a steakhouse today that Nicolas Cage goes to that I obviously want to try now. Also there's like a speakeasy there that I heard about. Courtney, let's go. I want to go eat at like 4 Vegas buffets. Oh, be amazing. And again, I want to go everywhere. I would love to do the whole United States. Take that however you might. Anyways, you guys listen. I do love you. I've set it to redirect over to Colin. Say hi for me. I'm gonna go turn back on the fan now that I can because of the microphone and cool down a little bit. But I hope you have a wonderful evening. Remember that I love you. I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.